Good evening and welcome to tonight's class. We started Power BI and in our last class we considered how to create table and how to model our tables together. We'll be moving forward by importing a data set and performing data cleaning. Alright, so to do that, open your double click on your Power BI and then once it's open, go to get data. So the data set I'll be importing or connecting to is a CSV file. Yeah, this is it here. All right, our data set has opened. Now, if you want to edit, you can click on transform data. When you transform data, you shape your data. What you are doing basically is you are performing data cleaning. Okay, if you look at this data set, we have state, overall rank, affordability rank, like so. We'll be removing some of the columns that we may not like and some things that we want to work on. To be able to do that, instead of loading, we click on transform data. This in turn will open up our Power Query editor. All right. So the first thing I'll be doing is changing of data type, and then I will also import another data set from the net. Okay. Now, if you look at what we have here, you see we have a state, we have overall rank, affordability rank, quality cost of healthcare, well-being rank, weather rank, crime rank. Okay. Now, if you look at this, if you want to check on right click on this, right click, you see change data type. So we have different data type. We have the decimal number, we have the fixed, we have the whole number, we have the percentage, we have the duration. Okay, for since if you look at the data we have is in text, so you see it's in text already. Okay, so you must understand that data Power Query is very strategic in the sense that it automatically assign the data type that suits the fields in the respective column. Now, if you look at this rank, look at the change data type, you see is in whole number, not in text because it contains no I is in whole number. You put it in decimal, you see it will change. Look at it. Okay, let's check again. So let's look at it. Right click, then look for change. Let's put initially it was on text. Now let's quickly change it. Right click, you go to change and put fix decimal. Okay, All right, now if you look at it, you notice that it has changed. You now have two decimal number after two decimal places after the decimal point. Now, to be able to perform cleaning or edit, if you look at the way your Power Query editor is structured, all the steps performed are recorded here. As query settings, you see sources, promoted headers, change type 1. Because you have been changing the data type, okay? So it's recording the steps here. Now, for you to perform certain operations, either you have shortcut or you can use the ribbon tab. Shortcut in the sense that you right click and then you see different options. Different options. You can see we have copy, remove other column, add column, remove duplicate, change type, transform. You see it, replace value, on pivot column, pivot other column, rename, respectively. So, and you can as well perform the operations here. You can see we have choose column, remove column, reduce rows. You can see to group, see decimal number under data type. You can see it. Now you see for this is in decimal because that was what there is a data type, but we can change it to fixed. That's it here. Great. Alright, you see that's changed. So can perform that here too under O. We have used first row as elder, respectively, transform, as you can transpose, count rows, split columns, you want to perform statistics, minimum, average, standard deviation, can do that too. Okay, add, multiply, divide, integer, modulus, can do that. Then absolute value, square root, exponent, long root, factorial. Then you can also perform trigonometry. All right, and you can run Python scripts too. All right, so now all these are just the data thing. So what we'll do is you load it into this into uh, Power BI. You must understand that every of the changes we have done here has not affected itself on the Power BI until you load and apply. Otherwise, the initial data you upload is still the same. But immediately you click on close and apply, all the steps you took here rather will reflect itself on the original data set. So close and apply. Now our data is successfully loaded into uh, Power BI. Look at it in our data view. Now, it's important that when you have your data set, like in terms of look at if you have state, you should be able to have the initial probably represented by two letters or so representing the state. So what I want to do is I want to connect to Wikipedia. There's a data set that contains abbreviation for respective states in the US. Okay, so let's do that. Come back to our reports. Okay, click on get data, click on the web, it's on the web now. Okay, I will post the link to the group. Paste. All right, it has finally pop up. Now, should in case yours may bring another interface before this asking you that you want to access it, is as an anonymous, using your window as an organization, or using your API. Now, if you didn't sign in, you can just select using your window credentials, okay? Let's window and then it will use the window credentials to access the site. Is that okay? All right, so now you can preview all this and then select the one that is best fit for what you want to do. Now, this first table here, best fit for what we want to do. It has codes and abbreviation for US states. Look at them here, US, AL, AK. Okay, so this is relevant to us, so we can make use of this. But before we do that, let's perform data cleaning. We click on transform data. Okay, looking at our data sets now in the Power Query Editor, you can then edit. From the imported data, you can see we have 3 rows. That does not make any sense to us, so we have to remove it. To do that, look at your ribbon tab here, and you see remove. We have choose column, remove columns, reduce column. Click on the drop down here. See remove rows. Click on the drop down. Remove top rows. Click on it. Now a dialog box will appear asking you the numbers you want to remove. Now is the first 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Click on OK. Then that's done. Then let's just control and see. Row 26, I don't want it to Mississippi. So you go to reduce row, click on remove rows, you drop down, click on remove bottom rows, you enter number 26. Click on OK. Okay, now that has gone. So okay, okay, that is it has gone. So now next thing we want to do is to check the column. Look at this column now. That is federal states. I want to work on this column. Click on the drop down, because now once you click on the drop down, we're removing federal states, because on the original data set we don't have Washington DC. Okay, but look at this that we have here that we imported from Wikipedia as Washington DC. Okay, so we click on federal districts. We don't want it, we only want the states. So click on it and click on OK. Okay, so once you uncheck that box, it will go. Okay, you have filtered it out. Now we have this. The next thing we want to do is to remove all the column that does not make any sense to us. Now, if you look at what we are looking for originally before importing this data set, was that we needed the abbreviation for the states. That was why we went ahead to download or get this stuff from Wikipedia. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll remove this column, we leave this United States of America, Alabama, Alaska, we leave all this, but this will go, this will go, this will stay. Then let's check this other ones too. We will sure you remembered I said all the steps that we are performing instruction they appeared here. Okay, so let's quickly select the columns that we want to remove. So to do that, make sure you hold down your control key. We need this, so we are not going to click on it, but we don't need this. We don't need this. We need this abbreviation, so we leave it. We don't need this. 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 Okay, we've selected it. Let's go to remove column in your home. You see it here. Click on the drop down. Remove columns, not other columns. Remove columns. Now we see we are left with the two columns that we needed for this. Okay, so we have the states and then we have the abbreviations. What I'm going to do is to make these first rows as my header. Under your home, come to this. You see, we have use first row as header. You can click use first row as header. You see, yes, we now have United States as the header of this column. We have US here. Okay, so if I've successfully done this, the next thing we'll be doing is to load this. Okay, before we close and apply, I still want to perform certain operations. Okay, I want to rename the headers of the respective column. And I want to also rename the tables and see how to merge the two tables into one. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is to rename this header. Just right click and we see rename. This is rename. Okay, so we are going to call it state name. And this we're going to call this state code. Okay, we've done that. Let's rename the table. So instead of codes and abbreviation, let's rename the table. Just right click on it. Okay, right click on it and see the options. States code. Let's rename these two. Let's rename this. So rename this so retirement stats. Retirement. Okay. Now, I want you to take note is this again. You notice you have queries here. Query is also the same thing as your tables. Okay, so same thing as your tables. Now, I said I would love to merge the two together to make one table. Now, if you are merging your queries or your table together, you can do that by merge query or by append query. Okay, so you can do that by merge query or by append query. So now when you merge two or more columns together, when you add two or more columns together, okay, we call that merge queries. However, when you add a row or more to a table, we append query. Okay, so we'll be adding two columns. There is a start code for this. Okay, so to do that, we'll go to combine and your O. See, we have combine. Click on the drop down here. Click on the drop down. See merge query. Click on the drop down. See merge queries, not as new. Okay, so click on merge queries. Now, this is the retirement stats. There is the first table. Second table, you come here, click on this drop down. The start code. Now, to be able to add it together, you click on this, select these two. Okay, so we have selected the state column, the state name here. Okay, we selected the two together. Now we now have a dialog box that appears asking us that this file we got from the internet. We want to use it as what? And the one we have on our system, the retirement start as what? So we come here as public. Okay, as public. Okay, so we can save Okay, then waiting. You see we have selected, then we click on OK. Okay, it has opened now. Now for this merge queries or table, you see this start code. Look at it, you can click on it to expand. I've clicked on it. Now you see we have select all columns, start name. What I want from here is the state code rather. Now, if we leave this check, which is original column name as prefix, it will use this as prefix before adding a new one, which may lead to confusion. So I will love to uncheck the box. Okay, I click OK. Okay, let's see now. We have state code 1. Right, so I'm not still comfortable with this. So I want to rename this. So rename it to state code, okay? State code. Alright. So we are done with merge queries or merge tables. So what we are going to do next is to close and apply. So now your own, you see it, click on the drop down, close and apply. Okay. Our data is finally loaded in our Power BI. So if you look at the report, this is a report view, and this is the Canva where we build our reports. Now we have our visualization tools here. We also have fit the data. Look at the we have typing start state code. So we have that here as well. So we can then view our dashboard. So just put this down, then can pick our states. This now Canva here. Wait for it. So our visuals pop up. You can see immediately we posted, we selected states. Power BI recognized that this is a geographical data and was able to place it on a map. So this is what it's using for now. This okay. So we can as well filter our visual that is from A to Z. Okay, I don't want to do that for now. See this. This is the map settings. One categorical labels, legend. See its map to show. Okay, let's close this. Let's close this. Okay, road. Okay, all right, all right. So let's change this to this. Let's see. This is another feed map. Let's see. Okay, and as well add state code to it. You can see it. See this area. Alright, let's quickly build our dashboard and see. Okay, you can see this. Then you can go ahead to add some things. Don't be afraid to play around with your data, okay? Don't be afraid to play around with your data. Let's have this. Let's place this here. Let's add state into it. Okay, you can see. I can decide to reduce this. Okay, we had another one. This is to use this right here around. Then let's add a put state to it. Okay, you can see we have this. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can can increase this or move it down. Okay, again, guys, out with this. So you can see this. I've been able to build a visual to see the states using map, the crime rate here, and then some of well-being ranked by states. Okay, so we can then save our file, come to file, our report rather, save as. So I'm saving my work. I created a folder for it, RBI. So call this data cleaning and visualization. So I've saved. Alright, so I want you to play around with this. Now next class we'll see how to perform DAX functions and also build visuals. See if we can share our report and collaborate. Okay, please do well to subscribe and go over the content, the class over and over again. Ask questions on the group. All the resources needed will be posted to the group. Thank you for listening.